As of midnight tonight, anyone planning to fly into Canada will have to prove that they are negative, that they have a proof of a negative COVID-19 test before they can get on their plane. Canada's largest airlines are calling for a delay in that rule. Laura McQuillan is here with the details CBC News has learned in terms of why.
Yeah, Heather, the airlines are saying that they are going to have to enforce this, and it's really just been dropped on them with about a week's notice. So they're concerned about how it is all meant to roll out from midnight. Let me first walk you through the details of what is involved under these new rules. So as we told you, you would need to get a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours of your plane's departure. That applies to everyone aged over 5. We're hearing there may be some countries where there's a longer window, but those details yet to be announced, just a matter of hours before all of this comes into effect. The test you take cannot be a rapid test. It has to be a PCR test. Those are the standard tests you get here in Canada. When you pop down to the clinic, you wait a couple of days for your lab results. So there could be a delay for those travellers to get their results back. Only a couple of exemptions in terms of places you can travel: the French islands off of Newfoundland and Haiti. Airlines are telling us that they weren't consulted before the government announced this plan last week, though they did get briefings from the government yesterday, and following that some industry sources spoke to our colleague Ashley Burke. They said that they've been told that passengers who don't have that proof of a negative result won't be able to board the plane, no exceptions, with no discretion for airlines. That's despite what Transport Minister Mark Garneau told CBC News last week when he said those who could not get a test because of where they were could quarantine in a government-run facility when they got home. Some clarity needed on that point, but in the meantime, airlines are warning that Canadians could end up stranded abroad. We've seen that the heads of Air Canada, WestJet, Air Transat and Sunwing have joined together to write a letter to Minister Garneau. In it, they say that this testing plan is not feasible. They say, with the current timeframes and lack of clarity and detail, they must note particular concern over the very real prospect of Canadians being denied boarding and stranded at their destinations. They're urging the government to push this back until at least January 18th to give them some more time to get these plans into place, figure out how they are going to work with travellers who might not have that test result. And Heather, we are expecting to get some more detail from government ministers when they will hold a press conference at 1 p.m. today, as we've just learned. A lot of details needing to be cleared up with only a matter of hours to go.
What about Canadian travellers who are right now abroad? What does this mean for them, Laura?
Well, it is a wrench in their plans. They have to track down a clinic where they can get this test. They have to make sure they have enough of a window of time to get it done. One traveller we spoke to is Mark Josephs from Ontario, currently in Jamaica visiting with his family who are there from the US. He's been there since December 27th and he's due to come back this Saturday, but he's finding it a real struggle to find a place where he can get a test done. He's been trying to book online, can't get one in the days he needs, and he's worried about running out of time before Saturday. And he can't travel to a testing centre elsewhere because Jamaica has restricted where tourists can go. He told us he's not quite sure what he can do.
If I'm unable to get the PCR test, then in the right timeline, I can go to the airport, try to argue my case. I imagine there will be a lot of people arguing their cases, maybe getting upset with, the poor ticketing agents, boarding agents and stuff who really aren't the ones making the rules and are onshore. And so my biggest thing is wasting a lot of time and finding out I'm not being able to travel.
What we also learned from those air industry sources, Heather, is that right now consular sources for Canada, services rather, for Canada around the world are looking into how people can get tests done in whatever country they're in. Once again, just a matter of time before this comes into effect at midnight, and real fears right now that Canadians will be left in the lurch with a lot of headaches at those check-in counters.
Thank you very much, Laura McQuillan.